Let's talk about this semiconductor, the large ecosystem. I mean, we hear some of the names that we took early on in this conversation. It feels like this is a big player domain. But you also, somewhere along under a breath, said startup. Okay, so let's talk about that. What are some innovative ideas that a startup could potentially champion in this space?
I will give you my own personal experience. My experience has been there's been a lot of opportunity in sensors or optical measurement devices, for example. You have the big players who are the big tool vendors, and my focus has been to a large extent modeling, simulation, measurements, etc. And what I see is opportunities for startups apart from the manufacturing area, for things like, let's say, we can break it up into multiple areas. You have a new way of modeling things, be it electrical or thermal or mechanical or CFD. You come up with a fast algorithm, and I can now speed up computation by 2x and get almost the same accuracy, a little bit less, some trade off in accuracy. That's a winner, right? Now, the challenge you have there is if a company, you're trying to sell that tool into a company, you're becoming, is very hard to replace the incumbent tool in there, the software. So then you have to have a convincing argument of why your tool is going to be better from the software side. Measurement side, there are big players out there who work on their own research and R&D and coming up with the next generation of metrology tools. But at the same time, I have seen a lot of great startups and I would say small companies who have done some very good work in coming up with new ways of measuring things, cheap ways or fast ways. And that's another one I would definitely. The third one is materials, right? And there is a lot of talk today about thermal interface materials and, there was at one time a lot of talk about graphene and nanotubes and now diamond and then microchannels for cooling, just if the thermal space, for example. So there are startups looking at single phase cooling and double two phase cooling, looking at localized pool boiling as a ways of effective heat transfer, coming up for these high power devices. So I would say there is opportunity for startups in these niche areas where you don't have to be a big person on the block, but there's definitely opportunity. So materials, measurements, simulation, all of these things. So I would think of these top of my head. I'm sure there are a lot more.